Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wager Wednesday. I'm JC with the Aloha Press. And guess what? We are breaking down the Pebble Beach Pro-Am event out on the beautiful West Coast, out in Pebble Beach, Spyglass, and Monterey Peninsula. And also, we're going to be giving you guys our takes about the Saudi International event. The field has finally been locked in, so we're going to break down that. And I'm sure I will have a crazy rant
To take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
as we break down these particular events. Let's start out with why the hell not. Some of the things that are going on in the beheaded capital of the world, Saudi Arabia. I wanted to break down just a couple, factors that the players have to make a decision when you're choosing Pebble Beach, one of the most iconic golf courses in the world, to include Spyglass, Monterey Dunes course, I think. And you got to think, like, some of the top players in the world are traveling to Saudi Arabia to risk their damn life. But at what cost? What cost? Is it for the money? It clearly has to be, because Pebble Beach is absolutely suffering. This is a complete disappointment. And I don't know what the dollar amount is, and we can only guess that particular amount because, well, these fucking players do not share that kind of information. But when you think about it, the risks that these players are going to make a little coin, put a little Bitcoin in their pocket. I'm talking about laws in Saudi Arabia that might get you just, lashings, So let's share a couple laws that I discovered in Saudi Arabia that's just not kosher with the boys at the Aloha Press. Now, number one, you can't kiss a stranger in public. What? That's crazy. That's a law. Like, what are we talking about? Women can't drive. And you think Americans have problems? Holy shit! But my favorite, you're out there on the golf course. You've maybe had a challenging round of golf, and you're ready to turn her in. Okay, you get to the ninth hole, maybe you make a par, and you're looking for the cart girl, serving the booze, serving a few beverages. Sure enough, it is against the law to drink alcohol in Saudi Arabia. What? I didn't know golf courses came without alcohol. What do they drink? Are they serving Heineken Zero? What are we doing? Like, are they serving, white wine, non-alcoholic version? Like, we just pretending everyone's pregnant? Shit, never mind. I've met pregnant women that drink, occasionally, per their doctor. But I'm just saying, how the hell do you even compete? Dustin Johnson, defending champion at the Saudi Beheaded Championship. I'm just saying, it just scares me. So let's get into it. Why not break down the, I want to make fun of it. I want to say bad things about it. I'm just saying, this particular regime is known for killing people. And I like living. But fuck it, I'm an American, and I'm proud of it. So screw you, Saudi Arabia, taking our players away from Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Pisses me off. Now I gotta watch freaking the rest of these handful of celebrities play absolutely ridiculously slow golf on my favorite golf course, Pebble Beach. Now, let's get into it. A couple guys who are going to be showing up at the Saudi International. Sure enough, defending champion Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Tyrrell Hatton, Bryson DeChambeau, Sergio Garcia, Cameron Smith, don't know who that is, Paul Casey, Tony Finau, Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Joaquin Niemann, Mark Leishman, and a bunch of others, to include Kevin Na and Patrick Reed. Now, keeping in mind, the guy who I would want to pick to win this particular event isn't even in the field. But I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one that's at least going to make the top 25. And I think this guy has made a name for himself in Saudi Arabia himself. He is a guy who has a history of damaging greens, beating the shit out of bunkers, and spitting in golf holes. I'm going with Sergio Garcia. You got to. At plus 1,400, why the hell not? This guy's going to make the top 25, and he's going to do it in a fashion that's going to piss everyone off. And I look forward to that. Sergio, big fan. Not a big fan of your hissy fits, but I'm a big fan. Now, a guy who's going to make the top 10 is one of those guys who just plays well. And he does it so well that the European Tour gave him a lifetime membership. I'm taking a guy at the very bottom of the odds. He's going to make the top 10. He just has to. It's his home. Plus, he's kind of an asshole. I'm going with Patrick Reed at plus 5,000 to make the top 10. If you put a little coin on that guy to make top 10, I guarantee you're going to make some freaking money. But you're not here for top 10s. You're here to pick winners, and we're going to give them to you, okay? I've got my sources down in beautiful Saudi Arabia, in one of those, I'm kind of nervous, but it's going to be fun. So I'm going with, sure enough, I'm going to pick a guy who just does pretty well out there in this beautiful land. Dustin Johnson. He's going to be sober. And if he's not, he's going to go to jail. So I'm going with Dustin Johnson, the defending champion, to get another victory out there. It just seems like he plays well there every single year. I think he had a T2 2 years ago. He got a victory last year, and he's sitting at plus 800. So take it what it's worth. This particular event I will not be watching. I'm sure I'll catch a few highlights, especially to see Justin Johnson win. But let's get to the real tournament. Let's get to the real action at Pebble Beach. I mean, why the hell not? But before that, I want you to do me a favor, okay? We don't run any ads yet. We got like 6 people following this thing. Do me a favor. If you're listening, watching on the YouTube show, do me a favor. Just hit the like button, hit the little bell, and subscribe. That's the cost of watching me get all fired up, angry, and pissed off, giving you Wager Wednesday. Now let's move on. With that being said, we got Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am. It's back. 3 courses, a bunch of slow amateurs. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of highlights and a lot of coverage of just people we did not tune in to watch play golf. I love you on the football field. I could give a shit if you're out there hitting golf balls. Now it's going to be fun to watch Justin Timberlake, Jake Owen, some of these, fan favorites. But I'm just saying, I'm kind of over it. But it's back, and it's exciting to be here. Clambake, let's get into some of the winners. And the thing that you gotta kind of consider, and you gotta take away from actually looking at this event, you gotta be patient. You gotta be one of those fucking players who just can deal with the drama and the nonsense. I mean, you're playing 3 different golf courses, and they're just absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you hadn't had an opportunity to play Spyglass yet, I fucking consider it. It is the nicest conditioned golf course I've ever played. I also hold out on 17 for an eagle, so that felt great. But let's get to the guy who's gonna make the cut, and it's one of those events where you gotta play 3 days to even outlast everyone. So I'm going with a guy, a California kid, one of the guys who's pretty much from my hometown, a guy who we haven't seen a lot of, but he had a wrist injury earlier this year that he'd been resting and taking several months off, but played okay golf last week at Torrey Pines. Ended up getting a T42. I'm going with Cameron Champ at plus 10,000 to make the cut. But a guy who I want to make the top 10, the guy who I'm putting some money on, is the guy you probably don't think when it comes to Pebble Beach, but a guy who typically plays particularly well on the West Coast, and he plays particularly well on these style golf courses. I'm going with Justin Rose at plus 2,200 to make the top 10. Now, the winner, chicken dinner, guy you're going to put your money on, the guy who you think is going to get it done. And when you look at this field, it's not strong at all. It has like 4 of the top 50 players in the world. And you think you're like a guy who's playing particularly halfway decent golf. This is an event. This is an event like a Daniel Berger, defending champion, could go out and win. The competition's not the strongest. It doesn't have the strength of field like it used to. Now, you would think I'd go out and pick Will Zalatoris. Well, unfortunately, he tested positive for COVID. He's had to withdraw. Now, we've got guys like Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Daniel Berger, Patrick Cantlay, Cameron Tringali, and a bunch of other names who are okay. But this is a field where you play in 3 different golf courses. I think you just got to get hot, and I think you got to be a halfway decent wedge player. And I'm going with the long shot. I'm going with the home run. And I think this guy is going to do it for us. I'm going with the trusty. The guy wears a bucket hat, okay? And on the West Coast, you might need to wear a bucket hat. I'm going with Joel Damon. And I think, let's see here. He is sitting at plus 6,500. If he wins this damn thing, you're going to make a ton of money. I'm telling you. His caddy is out there on the interweb posting beautiful pictures of his room. It's a little expensive in the Monterey area. And apparently he and 3 other caddies, which is, maybe we'll throw it up here on the YouTube show. They've got 4 bunks in like a Motel 6. It's incredible. It's absolutely just beautiful. So I think Joel Damon, I mean, he had a victory last year. I think he's going to be more than willing and more than motivated to go out there and play particularly well. And I think he's one of those laid-back kind of guys who's not going to get too pissed off playing with a bunch of amateurs. So with that being said, guys and gals, this is Wager Wednesday. And I've got this idea of doing a show of overreact, kind of like the Monday reaction of what the golf tournament was. And then, just getting back on the pod and getting back on the show and giving you Wager Wednesday to give you a little insight of what I'm thinking and who I'm picking, who I'm putting my money on this week at the Saudi Beheaded Championship and the beautiful Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which I would pay close attention to this week. Just at the golf course, the green complexes, the fairways, where the bunkers are placed, how these amateurs are playing it. Because later this year, we might be dropping a little secret in regards to a future event we might be having. So, with that being said, guys, really appreciate it. And as always, hit bombs, attack pins, and aloha press. Cheers.
Wearing all black.
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
Ain't no time for school today.
Hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut lob wedge. Replace your Marshalls with cart girls. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire at the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.